Nice. So we have both. Well, Mick is back for a second time. We actually recorded a podcast with him. Was it like a month and a half ago? And
Screwed it up.
yes, we screwed it up. We apologize, but I actually think it's a good thing because we had some conversations last time before the election, and now that the verdict is out, I was like, and everybody's happy in here.
It was like Kreskin. The last conversation we had was like
Yeah.
it all came to fruition.
Yep.
Better than we thought it could have.
And we have Tory Kirkland.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tory's our engineer at Custom Build Engineering. He's
Okay.
one of our engineers. We're CBE, small firearms manufacturer down here in Walton County.
The only in Walton County, correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, we're the only legit firearms manufacturer. There's a lot of guys putting guns together with parts, and then
No, but you guys are a legit company, yeah. Tory, what's your background?
So my background is actually in engineering. So I did my mechanical engineering degree at Auburn.
Okay.
And then out of college, I worked actually out in Reno doing lithium-ion batteries for Tesla.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
I was actually working for Panasonic, who was in business with Tesla at that factory. They were the Panasonic supplies all the batteries for Tesla.
Oh, wow.
So I was working on the Panasonic side, on the battery side.
Did you meet Elon?
What's that?
Did you meet Elon?
I never met him, but I saw him walking the halls a couple times. Yeah, they kind of like shuffled us peons out.
Yeah.
When he was coming through. So, but yeah, I saw him, like I said, walking the halls a couple times. Nothing major there.
Was that a pretty cool experience working for them?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Especially like straight out of college, like I was a kid. Had a little money in my pocket doing engineering, and out in Reno, which is like a small Las Vegas. So,
Oh, I've been to Reno multiple times. Yes.
So, anyways, but no, it was
A lot of characters up there.
Right. There are.
Did you ever go to the, what's that bar called? The Three Pigs or Pigs in a Blanket?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
It's like right outside the military base there.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I did that, and then after a few years of that, I'm from Alabama originally, so I wanted to move back kind of to the South, and I got picked up by Kimber, and I did design on their 1911 line for a couple years
Okay.
for them.
Had you shot or been interested in guns?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always. I came up hunting, actually did a lot of bow hunting, but as soon as I turned 18, I bought an AR, started messing around with those. So I had always been into guns, yes.
Yeah.
So
How'd you like working for Kimber?
it was okay.
Yeah. What do you think about their 1911?
I think they make a good 1911.
Yeah.
I do, especially the 45s. I mean, it's a mature platform, so all the kinks have been worked out. But I think Kimber actually does make good 1911s. Some of their other lines are hit or miss.
Sort of old. Well, they stick to like what, and I'm not like a huge connoisseur of all pistols, but it seemed when I shoot the Kimber, even I've shot the new 1911s as well, which they're nice.
Yep.
But I guess, I don't know. What do you think of staccato?
I like staccato.
Yeah, I think after I've shot
I wouldn't
staccato.
really compare those two, though.
Okay. Why not?
Because I think even though I think staccato has a production line, but they're still kind of custom. I think at the end, like they're all custom fit. I don't know their process, but Kimber is an assembly line type of manufacturing, so it's not going to be a custom feeling.
Yeah. Okay. That's
actually a good comparison.
Yeah,
to
it is.
CBE and like our competitors, Daniel and
Yeah, exactly.
everybody. Ours are more
So
custom.
would you Kimber? I think of as like a higher end.
it's a high end gun. I mean, it was always known as like a higher end.
Yeah,
nice
so
gun.
I like to say they're the higher end of those assembly type.
Yeah.
So to get better than that, you kind of need to get into that more custom.
Okay.
One
is
gunsmith,
Daniel
one gun.
in that same space?
For rifles.
For yeah.
Okay, Daniel just does rifles, doesn't do pistols.
As far as I know, I don't think
Yeah, I
No,
don't.
Daniel just exclusively does rifles.
Yeah.
It's the other.
A
Let's
few
see,
AR
Daniel.
pistols.
What's the other one
Yeah,
with the W?
I think I have one.
Yeah.
What's the other one with a W that we compete against? Daniel
Wilson
Wilson.
Combat.
Wilson does. They do a high-end 1911 Wilson Combat.
Yeah.
And they also do an AR too.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I've been shooting the staccato now for like 6 months, 7 months, and I'm like, dude, there's nothing else
that's
like
supposedly the bomb, the
It's-
staccatos.
Have you ever shot an Atlas?
it. Yep.
And you like staccato more than Atlas, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I shoot the C2, and
Okay.
that just in my hand, like it's perfect, like perfect grip. But I mean, the Atlas obviously is
Yep.
up there,
Yeah.
and probably for some people they're probably like it's better. But
Yeah.
yeah, just for me, like it's almost you can have the staccato, you can have deficiencies, and they go away when you shoot that gun.
Yeah.
You can buy a mechanical advantage when you're
Yeah.
shooting. Yeah.
So anyway, so I worked at Kimber a couple years, and then I actually got out of got out of engineering and got into real estate. And that was about the time I moved down here. So I got my real estate license in Florida, bought a couple of rental properties, and have been doing that and working at a local range. I worked there for a few years while I was doing real estate and all, and then found Mick and
We poached him.
jumped over to CBE.
Yeah.
How come you switched out of doing mechanical engineering into real estate? Was it
I figured out I wasn't. I'm a good engineer, but I'm not the best engineer. So I kind of just wanted to try something else out.
Yeah.
I think I'm better on the kind of the management side of things as far as like corporate engineering went.
Okay.
So Kimber didn't really offer that track. They were, it's just an engineering track. There wasn't many managers in the
Gotcha.
engineering department, so there wasn't room for me to move up. So
Gotcha.
I took that as an opportunity to kind
Yeah.
of switch careers and get into real estate.
Got it.
But then I learned that I still wanted to keep working with guns
Yeah.
in some capacity. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Interesting.
So what are you saying? The guys on the line aren't any good?
The guys what?
The guys on the line aren't any good? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Now, there's a whole difference in like being really good at shooting and then being into designing it and engineering a gun.
Yes.
I imagine.
Yes. I like to think I'm good at both, but
Yeah.
who knows? I shoot a lot of competitions now.
Okay.
So that was one thing great about CBE because that kind of let me work what I would want into a rifle or what would make a good competition rifle with our other engineers and military background.
Yeah.
So we've been combining those thought processes, if you will, and I think getting a good rifle out of it.
What are you looking for in a good like competition rifle or just let alone rifle?
So
I'll have you put the mic
yeah,
closer
sorry.
to- Yeah.
So I am mostly looking for reliability because I'm not a veteran or anything and didn't serve in the military.
That don't matter.
I know, but I'm just saying like so I've never been shot at.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm assuming reliability would be a good feature there.
Yes,
So in
that is up on the top
competition-
3.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's your top one, but it is one of my top ones, even from the competition world, because every shot counts.
Mm-hmm.
So reliability
Yeah.
is probably at the top
Yeah.
for us. So past that, accuracy, because a gun's no good if you can't hit what you're aiming at. And then kind of how just the all around feel of it after that. What's going to work best in most scenarios. Making a good all-around gun.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well,
No.
I think what we're striving for with our rifle, our product, is that durability and that accuracy.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna redefine the wheel with the AR platform.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen. We're not gonna maybe if we put this piece here, it's gonna. I mean, it is what it is. Stoner
Yeah.
came up with it. It is what it is. But the durability and the accuracy, and as Tory was saying, when I decided to do this company, and I brought Tory in and the other 3 partners in, the idea was to build a gunfighter's gun. You know, look, the other guys are really great, build great rifles, the other companies, but I think we could build a little better rifle. I really believe that we can. And we can build a gunfighter's gun. A gun, you know, a lot of the team guys get their guns and then they got to make adjustments
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas with us, we can take, this is our BR M4 Mini right here. It's 11.3-inch barrel. This is in the pistol configuration, which we could do it as an SBR. But if the gunfighter comes to us and says, I want this, but can you put a different grip? Or can you put a different stock? Or can you put a different set of sights? Or, you know, we can build it to what they want. So we can ship to the teams like, okay, well, if a team places an order, what do you guys want on each one of those, like a menu? You know, this is our standard barrel. This is, you know, all this other stuff is standard, but what do you want? Maybe a different charging handle. What do you want?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the idea, is to build a gunfighter's gun specific to that gunfighter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think.
Because some people would want different things, like you.
Well,
want a
you always
different
want,
grip
like,
or-
yeah, guys, it's
Just
you build your
preferences.
gun to yourself, right? So a lot of it, and like what you said before, you're not going to redefine or reshape what the actual platform is, but the accessories can constantly be redefined or reshaped to fit what you want as the shooter, right? So like optics, handle, grip, where you have the charging handle, the mag release, all those things matter when it comes to when it comes to being, you know, a gunfighter, warfighter, whatever, because in the moment you want to have the most
You want the advantage. at all
advantage, yeah, for
times.
sure,
And like how comfortable it fits for you, like what you like.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
here's-
exactly. But the big thing I think you talked about is we're looking for reliability. Can I beat the shit out of this thing? Because that is what we're going to do. We're not going to, and I think that's what, you know, people don't understand is, you know, they make these nice rifles, and I run courses, and people show up with like these high-end rifles, and I'm like, great, you know, you spent the money on it, but can you shoot that thing for a week straight, every day, all day, run around, beat it to the
Yeah.
ground, get it dirty, and will it still maintain its zero and shoot straight? And a lot of the times they don't. They can't hold up to the elements.
And that's one of the things with our gun, that we've taken all that in, and that's what we did with our prototypes, was beat the hell out of them. The idea, the other thing that we want to be able to do with our product is, if you're downrange and let's say something happens, and you're like, I need another CBE right now. So we already have what your parts are and what your menu and everything is. So the BRR in this is the battle-ready rifle, meaning that we can throw this in a box, ship it to you, out of the box into the game, is the idea. So it's zeroed, ready to go. So if you're downrange, it's like, oh, hey, your new rig came in, boom, out of the box, into the game, is the idea. One little Easter egg that we threw on our gun is on the other side here, our serial number. We started with MV from Mike Vining from Delta. So that's our little Easter egg that we threw in there, because he's like a Delta legend.
Oh yeah,
So every one of our rifles starts with the MV and then the serial number after that.
Mike Vining.
Mike Vining was one of the original Delta operators when they had formed Delta. So that's kind of our little. And
is he
then-
involved in the company or no?
No, it's just our little nod. We'll do the same for. In 25, we're coming out with we've got a prototype now for a 300 Blackout, which is a short barrel also. So on that serial number, we'll probably use a SEAL team, somebody famous from the SEAL
EG.
teams. We'll
Nah.
throw there.
There'll be somebody more famous than that.
It's just something we do, like a little nod.
Yeah.
You know, to the,
No, that's
the,
cool.
the guys that were there from the very beginning, and it's, you know, unless you.
But DM Dick Marchenko. There you go.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. So we'll do something like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, the idea
cool.
behind this company is we're very proud of Walton County being here, because, as I said, as far as I know, we're the only like legit firearms manufacturer. I mean, there's guys that I know that are piecing rifles together, and they're using they're using like lowers, but they leave the company on one side and then they engrave their little thing on the other side. Well, you're just piecing a rifle together. Whereas ours are marked CBE. We have,
Everything's done
CBE
in-house.
lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, that's awesome. And it was needed down here too.
Well, it's a great segue. Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Because our favorite partner,
Mr. Ultimate
Jim
Florida
Hood.
Man. Yeah.
at Elevated Silence, and it's really awesome because his cans function flawlessly with our rifles. So it's like we're both in Walton County, and it's just been like a really, really cool deal. So,
Yeah. I mean, I have his cans on
Yeah.
my rifles, and I have like 3 different rifles, and I haven't had an issue with any of those cans either, which says a lot about Jim's product.
Oh, Jim's product is,
Yeah.
that's our preferred can with our stuff. I mean, somebody want KGM or what's the other one? Other brand.
Too many.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
too many. But for us, it's like, let's keep the money in Walton.
Heck yeah. I like
You
that.
know, let's
Yeah.
keep the money in Walton. And, like I said, we're 5 guys. Actually, had been working at a local shooting range down here, and I poached him from there. And
Was it down here? Sorry, down here? You were
Yeah,
working?
in Panama City Beach at the powder room.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
So-
indoor range.
so they had found out that he was working with us, and they just like totally fired him, which was like the biggest bullshit pussy move you
Wait,
could ever
what?
do.
So why did they fire you? Because you were working.
Yeah, they told me that I'm a
We were-
RP on CBE's FFL, and they told me that was a conflict of interest.
Do they have their own?
Last
But you
time-
were working as a firearms instructor.
No, not even. I was just retail.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how
Still.
the conflict of interest is being.
Because you would tend to sell those.
They don't even carry us.
They didn't even carry them.
So the conflict of
It
interest.
could have been a good business venture for both. Like we could have sold our rifles to the powder room, and the powder room sell them to the public.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
The problem in the powder room is bad management. I'll say that right now.
Well, I went to the powder room right when they first opened,
Bad management.
and took my wife and kid there to shoot, and it was the worst environment imaginable. Like to go, they were super Nazis in there. You couldn't do anything with your gun except point it at the target, pull the trigger, and then have to place it back down. I'm like, dude, this is not a learning environment whatsoever to shoot. It's just literally like, hey, come and shoot a gun, and wow, right? And then you leave, and nobody there is leaving qualified. Like,
Well, you've even said that when you run something like that Nazi-like, it actually creates more stress.
It detracts from learning
And
because everybody's focused on not
dangerous.
breaking the gay range rules, and now they're instead of focusing on how do I get proficient with this firearm.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. The students end up, they're so worried about touching the firearm or this. That's when you start having NDs and stuff like
Well,
that.
then you also have these Nazi RSOs who work there behind, who get off on, hey, don't do, and it's like, dude, chill. First off, take a wrap off. Like we're in an indoor range, chill out. And you yelling at whoever in there for breaking one of the range rules. Now you've just taken a good chunk of their bandwidth away from actually trying to learn how to shoot and use that gun properly. And that's why I can't stand those environments, man.
I feel like you run the ones I've done with you run it. You almost take the cue from whoever's leading it and their demeanor. If they're relaxed, they got rules, but they're not stressing out and freak.
We're not in a firefight, so it's like, hey, let's.
Yeah, but even then, though, in a firefight, everybody generally knows what. It's either you just fall into that place. But like you guys are saying, is that it freaks people. It freaks them out, man. It freaks them out.
We
when you have accidents.
Calm breeds calm, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we do that in our training. We say it all the time. It's like even when we're doing house clearance or something intense, it's like reel it back. Just stay calm. You can still be aggressive and be calm at the same time. But the second you start freaking out or, moving in an erratic fashion or even raising your voice, that sends an energy down the rest of the train.
Yep.
And now everybody's amped up, right? So that's the way you should teach when you're teaching a range. It's like keep it nice and calm and let people learn and actually push them beyond their limits. It's simple.
Well, it's the old, a disciplined man is a dangerous man. He's calm in chaos and carries out his mission. It's so true. I mean, you're right, because people will feed off of that energy. If somebody starts getting amped up,
Yeah.
And there's always somebody that's going to start getting amped
Oh, there
up.
is. Yeah.
There's always an instigator.
There is.
There's always an instigator.
Somebody that hat fires and
Yeah.
starts going off. And so you just got to pull them aside afterwards.
So with the powder room, what they did was, I mean, we're not saying anything that's, slander them or anything. They let you guys go, really, for working with us. And
See
it
that
was
as a blessing now that you were able to fully.
Yeah, I think so. I was working part-time, I think, for a year when this happened. So yeah, it was on the wall.
Yeah.
So yes.
It was just really shitty the way they did it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no conflict of interest, because my first thing was like, oh, you guys are going to start manufacturing firearms now? I mean, no, you don't manufacture firearms. And as Tory was saying, it would have worked into a perfect,
Could have.
But
they didn't have a conversation with me. They just pulled me in. When they found out, they pulled me in at the next time they could and said, hey, we're firing you because of this.
Well, the funny thing is, when I went to, Bill and I went to Pensacola for this ATF thing, their two little managers were there. And the little one, I'll refer to him as the little one, came up to me and said, hey, you guys are building your guns. We'd like to carry them. I'm like, oh, really? Come on. You fired my guy.
Yeah.
And now here we are, 6 months later, we're an ATF thing, and you're like, well, we'd like to carry your CBE rifles. I said, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would die before I let that place carry this rifle. No, I'm dead serious. I would die. I mean,
maybe under new management.
Yeah. or like you could go the other way and be like, yeah, all right, and then have them make money for you, and that's another version of being.
I'm a principled man. No way.
No, I respect that.
I mean,
yeah.
no. I would die if anybody ever buys one of our guns and it turns up in their used cabinet over there. I will go over there and buy it back. Over my dead body, will anybody at that place get their hands on one of our guns?
So you're a big fan of the powder room.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is it's like what they did to Tory and to the other guy was just, just the bullshit they pulled, claiming they signed non-compete agreements and all this stuff, and then they couldn't produce any of them.
Yeah, that's just bad business.
It's just like,
that's bad business.
Dude, what I find, people run businesses like that, it comes back around on them, and they shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, even them asking to like, oh, can we carry your guns now? It's come back around like, oh,
For
shit,
me, that's kind of
Well,
poetic
it
justice
just-
if they did.
Look, here's the thing: is at CB we have a team, and there's 5 of us. Tory, each one of us has a stake in the company. And when I came up with the idea for the company, it's like, okay, we've got the young guys like Tory, and I'm like, you guys need something for your future. I need something to do. You need something for your future. So let's build this company and try to build something that we can build into something bigger.
Yeah.
And so, I'm very, it's a team of 5 guys. We all everybody has their job. We all get along good, but it's like, you know what? It's that old about the guy next to you, So you're going to, the way they went in and canned them. I mean, the other guy didn't have anything lined up. That's all he had was that job at the powder room. So, I take it real personally, because these are my guys. This is my team. I mean, these guys have been there. I mean, 2 years in setting this company up, through all the licensing and all the stuff with the county for everything that we had to do. Yeah. These guys hung in there.
No, I respect that. I respect that view. Believe me, it's
sorry to get on. I've had coffee.
You're loyal. You're loyal to your guys, and you're like, no, man, you don't mess with my crew.
That's good leadership. That your crew knows that you're behind them.
Yeah, that you have their back.
I have a question. I have dumb person questions that doesn't understand guns super well. But is this do you have a solid this part never changes, and then these X amount of parts change, like the grip, like stuff like that.
Okay, what will never change on this is the receiver set.
Okay.
Okay, but we can change out the trigger guard, trigger. We can put ambi selector on there, grip. Basically, let's pretend for a minute you are a team. You're on a team guy, right? And you're like the most badass gunfighter ever. Dave Fields.
Close your eyes, Dave,
Deadly
and
Dave
imagine.
Fields. Deadly Dave. Deadly Dave is coming to us
There
for
you
his
are.
gun.
Yeah.
Remember last time we talked about the Weekend Warriors in the 90s?
Yeah.
They were in the Sons of Anarchy. Hey, Bob, you're not a...
Yeah.
You're an accountant.
You're an accountant, Bob. You're going to be working 9 a.m. on Monday.
Take those 511s off.
No, so we can basically change the barrel. Yeah. We could build this how Deadly Dave wants it.
Okay.
Because if Deadly Dave's on a team, his team will get an allotment of dollars to buy the weapons that each guy wants.
Okay.
So those would be Eddie and Tory's tax dollars that they would give you to buy our rifle. So it just keeps it in the system.
Heck yeah.
So, but the barrel that we use on this is this is a 5.56 11.3 inch barrel. It's chrome lined. It's a B.A. Hansen barrel. I mean, I'll tell you the parts we use. I mean, when we put these, Tory and George engineered these weapons. Like, you can take like all the best parts in the world and say, I'm going to take all the best parts and I'm going to build the best rifle. And then you put all those parts together and you go and shoot it, and it sucks because there's no guarantee that everything's gonna run and cycle perfectly together. And so what we did was somehow we hit it. Somehow we hit the lottery. I mean, like Jim Hood, I can speak for Jim. I know Jim loves our rifle. He's got one of our minis in the short barrel configuration. This is the pistol configuration. He absolutely loves our rifle. He's like, it rides shotgun with me everywhere I go. So we've got the formula, but like any other company, we've got to evolve. So we're doing a prototype for the 300 Blackout. Right now we're just focused on 5.56. At some point we'll do the AR-10, which is the 308, models. But right now this is our thing.
Awesome.
We want to perfect the 5.56, the 300s. We want to get our thing down.
Yeah.
Rather, because a lot of guys, that's the thing, is a lot of people get together and like sitting around drinking, and it's like, hey Bob, we should start a gun company. It'd be awesome, and they're all fucked up and they're drinking, and it's not that easy to do.
No, starting any company is not easy.
Exactly.
To do. Yeah.
It's like sounds really good after a few beers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
Especially a gun company, but maybe that'll get easier next year.
It sounds like we're on the right track.
Yeah.
you know what though? ATF has been great with us though. I mean, that's a perfect
really
segue to ATF. I mean, we have a great agent that we deal with.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last time.
Yeah, man, I've had better customer service from ATF than I do at Cefco up here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's...
Well, a lot of the times I think, the ATF gets a bad rep, but it's for a good reason, but at the people that work for them though, and
They're still individuals.
they're individual, and
the rank
they
and file
believe
is
the
great.
same way you do. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, yes, I think some of these rules are stupid, but at the same time, if you just abide by them right now, like, it makes the process smoother, right? It's when people try and like skirt the rules or like try and do things that are like
happens
not
all the
yeah,
time.
and of course then they're gonna be like, dude, I can't do that. Like, you're putting my job on the line now.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna bend the rules for you. And then people get, they talk shit. It's like, yeah, are some of the rules sort of gay? Yeah, but that's what you got to do right now in order to get your suppressor or in order to get this.
Truthfully, though, I mean, a lot of the rules really aren't. I mean, like, I know there's guys out there that are, well, man, it's bullshit. I got to pay $200 for my can or whatever. It's like, dude, just what's the big deal? Just pay it.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not like what you got a battle to get to right now, dude. I mean, again, Bob, you got to be back in the office at 9 a.m. on Monday.
Exactly.
I mean,
You'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly. But no, ATF has been, like I said, we haven't had any issues with
That's
them.
good.
They've been really good to work with. I found that what a lot of people don't do is like, as a company, we're like hypersensitive. If we want to do something and we're not sure what the law is, before we do it, we'll call them
Yep.
with like everything. And it's like, hey, dude, can we do this? And they're like, no. It's like, okay, let's forget about that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's good.
And I've found that that's the best way to work with them. You know, it's just like, because like you were saying, there's a lot of guys out there that just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And then they get an
And
audit.
they get pissed when they get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they get
and
an
try to
audit.
ask for forgiveness, and that didn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then they get caught in an audit or something like that, and then it's like, because when we were in Pensacola for that annual seminar that we had to go to, you should. I mean, I was wondering like what level some of these other gun dealers were on the autism spectrum. You know, some of the questions. I mean, it was unbelievable. They were just there for like a bitch session, and these poor agents are up there, just to like go over just industry changes or this or that or whatever. And these guys were just like tearing into them. And like at one point,
Yeah.
I almost stood up. I'm like, you know, where are you at on the spectrum here, pal? 'Cause
Those
I'd
meetings like that, dude.
I'd like to get through this.
It's always the people that it's their chance to get on a pedestal and
Yeah.
voice my opinion, and it's like, dude, you're wasting everybody's time in here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a hamster wheel of retardation.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just
And then
shut up.
once one idiot gets up and stands up, then another idiot's like, you know what? I think I'm going to stand up too, and I'm going to say my piece. And then
It's
the
like
other
this-
idiot's like, oh, he stood up, now I'm going to. And then the rest of us are sitting in there suffering for the next 45 minutes.
But it's like you're sitting down the line on the team. One guy gets amped up, then the other. I mean,
Yeah.
It's that group thing comes in really quick.
Oh, I used to like when I would go to the team in the morning when we were actually at the team, they would have leadership meetings with the whole team. So you go in there, and it generally is supposed to take about 15 minutes, where the master chief and the CEO put out like the word or what needs to be done for the day. But it always ended up an hour, because there's people that just felt the need to get up and this is what I'm doing and what I got. It had nothing to do with what the actual plan of the day was. And I remember just sitting there and I was like, dude, this is a nightmare. Like every day I was like, I have to sit here and listen to these guys because they just want their chance to speak out.
Well, they want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody walking around, like, hopefully it'll calm down after this election. But I've noticed that leading up to this election, every guy walking around, there's a lot of, I want to be that guy walking around. I'm going to be that guy today.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, dude,
Just keep your mouth shut and do your job.
just stop.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that.
Show
that
up,
way.
collect check, go home.
Yeah.
What? Why is this difficult? You know? But everybody wants to be that guy. Nobody wants to be humble and have some sort of humility anymore. You know? It's like, and that's another thing about CBE. When we founded the company, it's like, we want to be the humble guys. You know, we don't hit a lot of social media or anything like that because our focus is institutions and select, civilian sales. If somebody contacts us, we want to go, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Our rifles are not as expensive as Wilson or Daniel, but the quality is, I'd say, dare say, a little bit better. I mean,
Hey.
we're the new kids on the block. But, I mean, as a company, that's our ethos, is to just be humble. You know, the other guys are good, but we think we're a little bit better. We don't need to shout it from the rooftops or anything like that. We don't.
You picture almost like a grassroots
That's what it's been.
go-to-market
That's what it's
strategy.
been. It's been a grassroots. Everybody that's heard about us down here well, you just had this situation.
Oh yeah, I'm shooting competitions with a buddy, and he texted me the other day. I was like, hey, I hadn't seen him in a while. He's like, hey, I'm friends with the Elevated Silence guy, and he just put one of your rifles in my hand and told me that was, you're part of this company.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I know that guy. So yeah,
That's awesome.
it's spreading word of mouth mostly, but it's getting out.
Yeah, and that's the way. I mean, that is the true organic way
I
to
agree.
build your company, instead of coming out, like you said, right now and being like, oh, look what we got, and this, and this. It's like, just put it in people's hands
we're just
and
letting
then
it
be
speak.
transparent. Like, take all the critiques,
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, people are like, yes, I love this rifle. This is awesome. Just be like, yeah, pass the word then, tell other people about it, show it around, But then also if you have people that are like, hey, dude, I don't like this and this about it. Be like, all right, well then let's see if we can
change it.
Yeah, fix it for you.
We'll change it for you. I mean, like I said, I don't like being in the way. Me as a person, I like to be real low key. I don't want,
Yeah.
I just kind of, you guys.
No spotlight.
I think you guys understand that from as freaked out as I was from our one that was, the taping that got deleted on accident. I was like, man, I shouldn't have said any of that, But that's who I want us to be as a company. Is I want our weapon to speak. I mean, yeah, we're the guys that put this together and are building this brand and this business. But it's about the rifle. I mean, I know there's some companies. There seems to be a lot of companies now that are popping up, like, I don't know, tactical companies and whatever, and it's more about the guys behind it than the product, which is fine.
What do you mean?
I think I know what you're. I think I know what you're saying.
Well, with this, I mean, it's
and that's like in the
they want their moment.
Military influencer Instagram realm, where these guys are.
I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just saying, like, look, if that's your thing, great.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I think it's more, for us, it comes back to what you were saying. You can beat the hell out of this gun. And it's going to be zeroed no matter what. It's going to shoot straight. It's a gunfighter's gun. That's what we're building. This is a tool.
You're saying one is more focused on marketing,
And
Instagram reels, having military dudes do.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's different versions of it, right?
Focused.
So, like, I'm friends with, and I work with some companies, like GBRS. I work with them, right? I go put on courses with them. They, like DJ, Shipley, Cole Fackler, and Joey Hahn are the ones that, they're like the faces of that company, right? And here's the difference between them and some of the other influencers that I see. And I'm just using this as an example. Everything that they put out, they do. Yeah. They practice. Everything they preach, they do every day. They run a very professional course, and it's like from the morning when you wake up, you are doing physical activity, you're doing some kind of workout to better yourself, and then you are training all day long. But while you're training, you're getting, like, they call it knowledge transfer course. So you're just able to talk to these individuals that come train, and whether they want you to pour into them with some advice or those people pour into us with some advice, it's a really cool environment. So that right there, like, that's real, right? They're not faking anything, even though they are. Like, when you see the companies, it's like, okay, you see DJ, he's the face and this and that, but he's actually doing what he practicing what he preaches. But then you have other individuals, a lot of other individuals, which I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That'll get out there and say they do X, Y, and Z. They're not doing any of that. They're literally just saying that so people will follow them. They're not. They're not living, or like they're talking the talk, but they're not walking the walk.
Yeah, the promotion is them and themselves.
Yes,
they want to be.
It's all about
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, and that's, we want to be as far away from that as possible. Which leads back again to the grassroots. Why we don't, we'll put a post up on our Instagram. We have a very simple website that lists what's in the rifle, what's under the hood. We don't have anything to hide, It's like there's going to be those people out there that will buy it and let me buy it and see what they got under the hood and what, because there's Geisley parts on this, there's B.A. Hansen parts on this,
Mm-hmm.
But that's the funny thing is you're going to get that one guy who's, well, I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to build this and use all these parts and I'll build the same gun. Well, then they go and try and buy the parts, and it's like, well, you should have just bought the thing complete from us. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Because we're buying in bulk, I mean.
Well, does any gun manufacturers, do they do everything themselves? Like, a lot of them probably.
Some of the bigger guys, like they.
Yeah, but not so much anymore.
Sure, Daniel Defense.
But FN or Aero Precision manufactures a lot of the forged receivers like ours and everything for the big guys now. So the bigger guys are buying. They've got variances with Aero for their receivers and stuff like that. So like Daniel does, because that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the thing with, like, Daniel's a great gun company, but if this were a Daniel Defense rifle, Eddie, you're like, oh, I don't want that handguard. I want to put one the brand that I like on there.
Yeah.
It's not going to work because you got to stick with Daniel parts.
Yeah, it's like buying an iPhone.
Or, yeah, exactly.
It's like you have these parts are specifically designed for this phone and nothing else.
Yeah, so you have the freedom. You have that freedom with our rifle. You have that latitude, that freedom. And like I said, the best part is if it's a custom order, you just call us and say, look, I'm getting the BRM4 in the SBR configuration, but I want to add this, this, this. And then our engineers, and we sometimes know, like, hey, dude, have you tried this optic? And they're like, well, I've seen it, but, well, we'll throw one in the box for you to check out. If you want to, we'll throw in yours and then this new one, and then whichever one you want to keep.
So you send them an optic?
Send it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. I mean,
And we've had a lot of conversations with guys that, don't know what optic's best.
Yeah.
And so, we'll get into, well, what do you want to use this rifle for? Are you trying to set it up for home defense, or do you want to go shoot 300
even with
yards?
some of the seventh group.
So we
guys.
Yeah, so either put an LPVO or
correct, or a red dot.
Yeah.
So we get into some of that with a lot of people too, and help them kind of find their way to what's going to work best for them and what they're going to ultimately be happy with.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, some special forces guys we've suggested some things. No, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Well, here, try it. Mm-hmm. Wow, because they get into their zone. It's like, hey, dude, this new thing came out here. Why don't you?
Yeah, and
try it out.
When you're in, you really, unless you're like into acquisitions or the supply guy, you're not really paying attention to what's out there unless you are like a gun fanatic and that's what your thing is. But a lot of the guys are just like,
it's a tool.
Yep, I get what I get. Like it better work.
And you make it work.
You make it work,
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, this is a tool to do my job. But that's awesome that you guys are able to bring ideas to those. Yeah,
that's our whole thing.
Yeah,
make sure that they have the best tool available.
And it's cool that you guys send the optic out. Like, hey, try it out. If you don't like it, send it back or whatever.
Yeah, and we'll throw it in the box. I mean, here's a new one. We'll throw the optic they want, and then throw the other one that we think they might like better in the box, and they just ship it back.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the card number, so if they don't ship it back, it's like,
it's yours. You just bought it.
I doubt many gun manufacturers
I don't mind
do
donations,
that.
but I'm not going to do it every time.
Yeah.
Probably not. I wouldn't think. Yeah, most would not.
That's the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up, not to interrupt, but that's the other thing. So like Walton County, it's my understanding that they're going to start going with our uppers, with these shorter uppers, Walton County sheriffs.
Mm-hmm.
So the beauty of this is we'll deliver these uppers. They're already zeroed, ready to go. But then if something needs to be serviced, we're local. So they bring the upper to us. We can give them another one while we repair this one if there's something wrong with it or if it needs to be serviced in any way. Whereas if they were using Daniel or Sons of Liberty or somebody, you have to ship this all the way back.
Yeah.
So theoretically, we could have a maintenance turnaround time of 24 to 72 hours. But you got to think about that's a heck of a thing to offer too, because with the bigger guys, I don't know if they send you. I don't know. I've never had to do it. I don't know if they send you a loaner gun or if you got to.
Yeah, I don't
send
know.
it in or
I'm sure it differs from company to company.
I don't. The only one that I know that will do that is Sons of Liberty. I've heard cases of guns getting beat up or whatever. They get sent back, and if it is going to take a while, they'll send a loaner gun out.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of us is we can.
Yeah,
we can turn it around quickly.
Run one right over to them.
If we have to, we just, in some cases, probably just send them a whole new upper, be done with it. I mean, we're a small group of guys. We just want to build the best that we can build. That's really it.
I think you're in a good area for it, for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, Seventh is down here. There's
Yeah.
a lot of there's a lot of spooks in these woods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like I don't know. I love Walton County, and we just like I said. I mean, Jim Hood, Elevated Silence.
Yeah, I mean, this area alone is all about supporting local businesses, and you don't get that a lot in a lot of places, and that's why I think this is a great area to start right now because you're going to have a lot of people support you guys and buy local. I think.
Is y'all's goal to move towards supplying SEAL teams or like military?
Yeah,
or
that's
is
why
it
we
more?
started the company, really,
Okay.
was to focus on the institutional sales.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really where we want to be, is on the institutional sales. I mean, look, eventually we'd like, it's kind of a strange thing, because when people start companies, we want to be the biggest dog on the block, you know, this is what we want to build to. And it's like, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I can speak for my vision for CBE is, you know, we build the company up, but we don't want to be the biggest. We want to be good at what we do. And a lot of times when companies get bigger, the quality goes down. You know, no offense to any.
Well, that happens to a lot of companies. Yeah.
And we don't want to do that. Like, we can make a good living, you know, churning out 1,500 rifles a year or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's 2,000 a year, we could do that. I mean, we wouldn't turn down a big contract by any means. I mean, we'd make sure we'd do what we had to fulfill it. But
still keeping the quality.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we make a good product.
Yeah.
Like a good quality product. So, you know, whatever level we get to where we're bumping that, where we're having to potentially make decisions about quality or speed or, you know, whatever. I don't want to.
Well, so it should be always
go over that line.
quality over
Exactly.
quantity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, ideally, I'd like to build a factory up off of 331. You know, have CB and lights and brodozers out front or whatever. And, you know, there's enough veterans down here that are getting out that understand the tool.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be
I mean,
really cool.
I'd love to put veterans to work at CBE. You know, I mean, come be part of the fraternity, Chi Beta Epsilon. You know, I mean, like that would be, I don't know, for me that'd be ideal.
That would be.
I mean, because we can put these guys that are coming off base that understand the tool to work, but we got to sell guns to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Walton County would be really pro in helping you do something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Seems like it, yeah.
I think that there's quality in product, but also there was a study done a while back. I remember a buddy of mine who had sold multiple software companies, kind of a mentor for me at the time, brought up the study, and it's second-time founders that you've already started a company, gotten it, sold it, IPO'd, whatever, and then you're going back and starting a second company. They all focused on doubling down on one thing, and it was customer service, right? And so there's the quality of the product, but what you guys, I think, what sometimes even makes or breaks it, you could have great product, but if your customer service lacks, and you guys are doubling down on customer service, where you'd send out optics or,
Trying to.
you know.
well, we have no problem. I mean, like with pipe hitters, you know, we had no problem.
Oh, yeah. That was
sending
awesome.
one over to you guys. It was like, here, boom. You want
Yeah,
something to
we-
auction, raise money with, boom.
We appreciate
They
that. That
didn't
was at
ask
the
for
last second,
anything.
too.
We're like, no problem. You know, that's who we are. It's that loyalty. You know, it's like, you know, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to bring up the PR again. That place pisses me off. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of loyalty that we need to have. I mean,
Well, yeah.
people need to have that kind of loyalty.
Stick together.
and that kindness, and that, you know, I mean, it loops back to, like, people just aren't kind to one another anymore. You know, I mean, I had to go down to Palm Beach last week. I never want to go to that place ever again. You know, I got down there, and it's like, I mean, the only thing I think about Palm Beach when I was down there last week was the drivers aren't as aggressive as they are up here. That's like what I noticed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nobody threw a Powerade at me, and nobody was yelling at me at a stoplight, you know, because that's my thing, is they usually pull up and yell at me, and I start laughing at them, and then they start throwing umbrellas and stuff at me, and I'm sitting there laughing like, okay, tough guy, you know. I mean,
Thanks for the umbrella.
yeah, exactly. But, you know, it's all concrete down there. You know, I think I went into a CVS or something, and like the lady was just, there's just no, you know, people just weren't polite. And it reminds me of living in Los Angeles when I lived in LA. I've lived all over the world, you know, Amsterdam and London, Belfast, in Germany. I've lived all over, and like, people here in the Panhandle are so nice.
Oh,
so
yeah.
polite.
Well, yeah. They're neighborly.
Yeah, they're neighborly. That's the word.
And I like here, and then even like when I go to Texas, people are they have that neighborly,
Yeah.
just, it's like embedded into them. Like everybody's super nice. People are like, say hello, you know, holding doors for people, greeting you. Like when I lived in California the whole time, like that was non-existent. It's just, we didn't talk to our neighbors, you know, everybody sort of just kept to themselves. But it's a very like go, go, go environment, you know, busy.
Well, yeah, I lived in Santa Monica, and it was just, you know, when I first moved to Santa Monica at the end of the 90s, it was like still that kind of beach surf town.
Yeah.
But then that, you know, California communism started creeping in, and it just, everything started changing. And that's why I left there in like '09. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is getting, you know, you have no freedom. You know? I mean, California is like the blueprint for, well, here we go, perfect segue, the blueprint for communism.
Yeah.
You know, what Kamala Harris and the Democrats wanted to do. California is the blueprint. You know, California and New York. Thank God.
Yes.
That was, you know.
That dream is squashed for the next 4 years, for sure.
You know, it's like last time we talked about the academics. You know, the Democrat, like the World Economic Forum and all those guys. It's these academics and these elitists that don't live like we do. Remember we talked about gas prices, and they don't go down and put gas in their car. You know,
yeah, they're not feeling the pain.
It was like AOC. It was like, well, buy a Tesla. Well, there's $70,000, and you're a former bartender.
Oh, and by the way, if I bought a Tesla, there's nowhere around here to charge it. There's nowhere around here to like have it serviced. I'm like, it's more of a pain in the ass than anything. And I was like, and I you know, I'm fine with, dude, if you could, whatever, if everybody could own an electric car, great. Like, I don't care either way. But I'm like, if that's what you want, then you need to make it accessible for everybody.
You just gave me an idea. Fields, you're the tech guy. We should do charging stations down here on 98.
I've already looked at it.
Yeah? You could put
Contacted Tesla
Eddie's face on the sign.
Yeah.
It could be Uncle Eddie's charging station. We call it Cousin Eddie. Like
yeah.
Cousin Eddie's charging station.
Shitter's full.
With the real estate we own around here, I've thought about putting them in at it. And what they do is they come in. It's a separate company that they use. They'll come in. They'll set it all up. It costs about $500,000 to like install it in your location. But you don't get. I thought, oh well, you get a percentage of. Right. You pay the energy bill and you get like, you know, reoccurring revenue. Yeah. Be super smart. You don't. There's some tax incentives and stuff like that. They pay for the whole thing to get it installed, but you're just basically like renting your, you know, the only really good use of it is being, if I put it up here at the office, is if I have a Tesla and I get free charging all the time, you know, and some incentives. But
can't you just get like some solar panels or something? It's that Anchor thing. I saw that on like Instagram.
Maybe.
The Anchor solar thing that's supposed to power your house. It's like the solar generator. Just buy like 5 of those and throw them in the parking lot. I mean, my buddy had a Tesla when he came to visit, and he just plugged right into my house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, there's got to be a way around.
Well, I know, like in
racket.
California, there's like when I go back, there's a lot more charging stations now. Like you go to grocery stores and everywhere else, like there's at least 2 or 3 rows of charging stations.
They have the Jetsons mandate, you know, in California. There's like no gasoline vehicles.
But my thing is, does the state pay for that?
Well, so Tesla will pay for it to be installed, right? So that they can get or I don't know how they set that up, but it's paid for it to be installed. And like the main incentive is if I have, say I own a shopping center, right? I want to put some Tesla charging stations in there because then people come in, they have to charge for 30 minutes, an hour, and they're going to walk around.
Convenience to get people to your place. That's what it is.
Bingo.
It's like getting in Vegas when they try to pull you into the casino.
Who pays for the power bill, the ongoing power bill?
Tesla or their contractors or whatever, but you don't pay for the power.
It
doesn't cost you anything. No, and you get a couple other, like you can have some write-offs type stuff, but
so you just get little incentives.
And it's really meant to like drive traffic too.
Right.
But if you don't have a retail store,
then it's not worth it.
It's like, oh. But
Don't like electric cars, don't they go through tires like crazy because it's so heavy? from the engines?
I don't know, man. It
Might be
makes
perfect.
Teslas make a lot of sense. I rented one. We were gonna buy one, and I rented one for a vacation. We went down to Orlando with another couple, and so I rented it here, but we had to stop like 6 times to get to Orlando.
Yeah, and it's a pain in the
charge.
ass.
So if you're going long
It's like-
distances,
It's not worth it.
34 hours to
but
go. Like,
locally,
Makes a good commuter.
it makes sense. You put it in. You have a charging station in your house, right?
Charge it over.
You
It's
charge
like-
it in your house.
It's like a racket, though, because they know. Okay, here, think about the mind of Elon Musk. No offense to Elon Musk. I don't want him coming after me when he becomes the ego or whatever his new job is. But like, if you think about it, it took you like 32 hours to drive 8 hours because you got to stop like 6 times and charge, right? Well, you're like pumping money, and you got the kids. Kids are going to want something to eat. I mean, it's going to take you 32 hours, and you'll spend $4,000 in like food and everything because the kids are going to want to eat and all this stuff just to travel 8 hours.
Yeah. So if I was in California,
Beautiful racket, if you think about it.
it would have been a lot quicker.
But even no, because
But
even then, because I rented
had-
a car in California, and it was we had one of the electric. I don't know if it was a Tesla.
Right.
It might have been.
Yeah.
But even when we drove around there, like we had to go fill up. It's like 30 minutes.
It takes a minute.
To 30 to 45 minutes, and that's
Depends on how
if
low it
people
is.
aren't in line. That's
Yeah.
if you pull up, start charging. And I remember I was like, dude, this sucks. Like,
Yeah.
it takes 5 minutes to fill my tank up with gas.
Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
Thank God we're back to that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was like last Tuesday, election night. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't drink or anything, and I'm up amped.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, I went to bed early, and then I just like checked my phone when I got up. I was like, please God.
Yes, that's what I did too.
And I saw it. I'm like, yes.
I woke up and I looked.
We're back,
I was
baby.
like amped, you know. I'm like, oh yeah. You know,
Oh, I flew into D.C. the next day.
that's right here.
That was glorious.
There's a lot of people that are like that.
A lot of
It's the end of the world.
sad faces walking around, and my smile just got bigger every time I saw one.
The thing is, I don't think they understood. I mean, look, I think the American people, rank and file American people, which goes back to what we talked about last time with the academics and stuff, they don't live in the real world. The American people live in the real world. You know, they understand that, you know, $3 a gallon. I mean, shit, even going down to Publix, you know, I bought a box of Special K this morning.
Yeah.
It's like $7.50. You know, cereal's expensive. I
Well,
mean, just-
the Democratic Party is so delusional. I mean, like beyond. And I think they now, like right now, you can see they're like reeling of like, oh, and you know, some of them are admitting like we're off track. Like
Well, they
this is
wanted to
why we
crash the
lost.
system, Eddie.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. It's like Obamacare. The architect of Obamacare came out and said, yeah, we knew it was designed to fail.
Yeah.
Because if they could crash the system, it's Cloward and Piven, you know, all of those theories. If you can crash the system, then you can rebuild it the way you want. And so that's really what I believe the Democrat Party's platform was. You know, that was Obama's thing, was we crash all the systems based on Cloward and Piven, and then we can rebuild it the way we want, because everybody's going to be standing there going like, well, that old system didn't work, so what do you have for us? Which is this, you know, kind of this one world kind of
Marxist or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever the hell you want to call it, idea. And I think that's why this election was so important, was the American people, rank and file, even Democrats voted for Trump.
Yeah.
We're
And
like, this is not the Democrat Party.
a clear message was sent. And it
Yeah.
was like, we're done. We're done with all these shenanigans, this like extreme leftist ideology. Like, and that's the Democrats that were in charge, like the administration, are so, like you said, they're delusional. They actually think like what they're putting out, like people are buying. And it's like, no, and you can, and they have the one thing they have is the media in their pocket, right? So the media can sit there and portray things the way they want them to, but none of it is based on reality.
Well, yeah, they
at all.
vilified you to no end.
Well, yeah,
The
I
media
mean,
did.
that's,
I mean, it was.
and that's, yeah, that's
be
how the
honest
media
about
works.
that. That's
It's
what
just,
they did. It's straight up slander and lies.
yeah. And I'm not, you know, they do it to so many other people, but it's like even watching like them, you know, Kamala go around in her campaign, and it's like she has Eminem, Cardi B, all like thinking like those people are going to make a difference, and they're paying these people millions of dollars to have them come up and be like, I endorse Kamala. I just got paid $1.5 million to say this. It makes no difference. Nobody gives a shit what these people think. Nobody gives a shit what Oprah thinks. Nobody gives a shit what Cardi B or Eminem or Taylor. Well, I guess Taylor Swift is different. I guess she has a cult following, but like, yeah, that one's
they'll
weird.
come after you. They're like the mafia.
Yeah.
Taylor. I've heard stories about the Swifties.
But that's how delusional that party is, or that administration. They actually thought that was going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's just how low they think of Americans' IQ. Like, they literally think that we are that dumb.
Academics and elitists.
Yeah.
They don't live. And then you have the Hollywood, the people in Hollywood, well, they have theirs. So, they've made their money. So whatever Camilla, whatever the hell her name is, whatever she wanted to do, whatever this far left idea of changing American democracy that they wanted to do, Hollywood doesn't care. They're in the Politburo at that point. They have their money. The American dream would have been dead. What was if she wanted to do unrealized capital gains?
Yeah.
They did that to me in Europe. When I had my company in Europe. They were, I'd get a tax bill. At the beginning of the year in the Netherlands, well, what do you think your profits are going to be this year? Well, shit, I don't know. I haven't made them yet.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't realized them yet. That is about that one is about the most craziest. Like, I mean, think about it. If your investment, you have an investment account, a mutual fund or whatever, and throughout that year, it's gone up $100,000, right? So that $100,000, even though it's still in your account, you do not have it. It's in your investment account. It's in your mutual fund. That at the end of that year, whatever that was, that it grew to, you have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you don't have it.
Yeah, it's straight up. I mean, that's straight up socialism, communism. I mean, was it Margaret Thatcher, the one that said the problem with socialism is eventually you run out of the people's money?
Yeah.
It's. I mean.
Well,
Yeah,
how big of a deal do you think RFK Jr., Elon Musk, like this team around him, Vivek?
I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
I think what I think Trump was able to do was he learned from the 4 years. When he was in there before.
He's learned his mistakes, and he assembled a team
I think he actually set his ego aside, which is very hard for him to do, and brought smart people together.
Yeah, well, I think you heard, did you listen to his interview on Rogan?
A little bit.
No, I didn't hear
So it was good. I mean, and he admitted, he was like, yeah, I went in office the first time, and he's like, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yep.
And he's a businessman.
Yep.
But I think when he went into office, he didn't utilize his business, acumen like he should have, and probably listened to his instincts. Instead, he was, asking a lot of people, hey, what do you think? What do you think? And he had so many people in there that were working against him.
Yes.
And the whole time they're telling him to do things that weren't in his best interest or the country's best interest. So now he admitted, he's like, I've pretty much assembled a team where I can, push those, you make the decisions on this and you make the decisions on this. And that's just like this morning, which I'm stoked about, is Pete Hegseth just got nominated for Secretary of Defense. That is my one thing that I'm passionate about. I'm is get the military back on track. Yeah. And I cannot wait. I hope Pete cleans house and is dude, all these generals and admirals and even below, some below, if you've been around the past 4 years, you're gone. If you haven't stood up and said anything, you're gone. If you've lied, if you've done underhanded things to boost your career, you're gone. An example needs to be set. And it's this is the military. We need to bring it back to where it used to be. Get rid of the woke agenda. Get rid of this DEI crap. Get rid of this, what was it, Millie? Oh, I want to know why the military is so racist and why there's this white rage. Get rid of all that crap and make it back to you get promoted based on merit. And then it doesn't matter what gender, what skin color you are, you are all
red.
Exactly. And we are Like it's time to unify all this. Like what was it? The past couple of years, they've been touting this diversity is our strength. It's like that is the complete opposite of what we are supposed to be. We are supposed to be unified. Yeah, you are literally just breaking up the military into all these fragments so nobody can work together. And then everybody's walking around on eggshells wondering, oh, if I say the wrong thing, is my career going to be over? They're not focused on how can we be the strongest military and the most effective military. It's been how can we be more progressive? And, and they like they pulled the wool over all these people's eyes, like, oh no, this, diversity is our strength and this is what really matters. And it's none of that has anything to do with running a strong, effective military.
Well, it's like I said, remember we talked about this a few minutes ago, Cloward and Piven. The idea is to crash everything.
Yeah.
That's the Democrats. If you look at everything they've done, there you go. You just illustrated that point within the military. Bring in the DEI. Break the military down. Let's crash it. It doesn't work anymore. Let's give them less money. Let's turn America's military into like the Germans or the Belgians.
Yeah.
But what's interesting when you were talking, what I thought about, if Hegseth takes over, of course, there's the Democrat naysayers. I got to slide Elizabeth Warren in on this. I mean, Pocahontas, I got to slide this one in. That's just hilarious that this woman would say that he's not even, would even try to say that he doesn't have the experience to even be in the job. I mean, what is she in charge of, like money now or I don't know, Biden put her in charge of something. It's so insignificant. Or maybe it's a significant position, but she's just laid low. But who was that? Remember that Marine colonel that was fired? Stu?
Oh, Stu Scheller. We actually got our foundation was supporting him the whole
It would
time.
be great to see Hegseth bring him back.
Yeah.
Over at the Pentagon. Think about that one. If Hegseth becomes Secretary of Defense, that's what he's going for, right?
He is going to become the Secretary of
so
Defense. He got picked for it.
Bring Stu back. He's been in it. He was forced out.
Well, yeah, no, our foundation got behind him when that happened, and we pretty much were with him all the way until he exited. We surrounded him with like the best lawyers and
it'd be great to bring
raise
him
a bunch
back.
of money for him.
That'd be like the Phoenix Rising. That'd be great.
I just think, I think the big thing is the example needs to be made, and people need to be let go. And I just hope that my big concern is the amount of bureaucracy that Pete's going to face when he starts cleaning house, and then the amount of like these officers that'll, oh no, I was actually on your, trying to save their jobs. It's like, nope, get out. Like, you're done. There needs to be no quarter.
There needs to be a board behind him.
What
to
officers?
Support him.
Well, yeah, they need to bring people in for sure to, maybe do a review board and actually hold these officers accountable and state publicly, like, you did this.
That's just what I was going to say. Yeah. You see, the thing about these officers is they forget that everything they've done through FOIA you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really simple. I mean, yeah, everybody knows there's been this swamp in Washington, these bureaucrats. They need to go. I mean, they're unelected officials that have tried to determine policy for the people, and a lot of the policy that these unelected bureaucrats put out there are not popular. It's not what the people want.
Yeah.
It's been like this, almost like, feels like this shadow government,
Well, yeah, and it's infested our military.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's every
it's
department.
Tainted. Yeah, every department's tainted.
I mean, you look at the intelligence services.
Oh yeah, all the three-letter agencies are tainted.
I mean, every alphabet agency is, probably needs a good look at an overhaul.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad Trump has the team that he has, and he's like assigning, or so the new border guy.
Oh, Homan's the man.
Oh, dude, I love that guy.
But what's funny, I've noticed the last few days when he said Homan was going to be in there, I haven't heard any Democrats complain about Homan and I couldn't figure out why. And then I was reading an article this morning. Well, in 2016, when Obama wanted deportations, who did he call? Tom Homan.
Yeah.
Homan ran that. So it was like, I couldn't figure out why the Democrats aren't, oh, Tom Homan, he's the worst, you know. If you notice that none of them have said anything about Homan. You know, I mean, my personal favorite was, what was it, the New York governor, Hochul, and then that little dipshit in Illinois, Pritzker, the guy who bought his way into the governorship.
I don't know anything about that dude.
Yeah, he's like this short, fat little. I mean, he looks like he belongs in like a 30s episode of like, you know, Laurel and Hardy or something. He was out there talking about, you know, well, if Trump tries to throw people out, we're gonna fight, and he's gonna. I mean, it's like, dude, just shut up, man. Just shut up. Go look at the numbers in your state.
Yeah.
Like almost 40% of your people, or 44% of your people, I don't know exact numbers, don't quote me, voted for Trump. Maybe you should just have a nice cup of shut the fuck up. You know? I mean, but yeah, these Democrat governors, it's like, we're going to fight. It's like, just stop. You lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not. I mean, that's not the way it goes. It's they're gonna, you know, fight back and do their piece. But I will say this: it hasn't been as like chaotic as everybody thought if Trump would won. Right? I think, and that's also a message. It's like, see, people are
That's
done. Like
one-sided.
they
Yeah,
want.
We're finished. We're done.
We want to go back and rebuild this country and get it back to the way it was. Get rid of all this foolishness that's actually dividing us. It's further
America
apart.
was its best in the 80s, if you think about it. Like, remember, this is how I gauge where we're at. Do you remember the original Red Dawn?
Yeah,
Okay, that was,
the Wolverines.
yeah, exactly, classic film. And then they remade it. You know, I can't watch that bag
No.
of shit. You know,
It's like when they remade Point Break. You're like, I'm not watching that.
yeah, no, you know, I mean, it's like the 80s were a good time if you think about it. I mean, it wasn't good for, you know, coke heads and people with addictions, but, you know, when coke was running rampant. But, like, for the most part, people were making money. The economy was going. Communism was on its last leg.
Well,
You know?
yeah, the cartels were boosting our economy back then.
That's true. That's true. I got an idea how to fix that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, that Homan just said, he was like, dude, once Trump's in office, man, they're declaring the cartels a terrorist organization, and that's going to be that. I'm like, sweet. It's
Well,
going to be good work for guys that are in.
Well, yeah, old workmate of mine, Phil Jordan, you know, he had set up the El Paso Intelligence Center. Phil was a director over at DEA. His thing, Phil passed away this last spring. Phil was great, but his thing was always, when I talked to him, was, you know, just send the SEALs down there. That was like always his standard answer. Just send the SEALs down there. That was always his thing. I'm like, no offense to the SEALs, but I'm like, Phil, you know that there are other special forces you
Yeah.
could send down there. But it's like the SEALs always get like the, you know, that's like the
spotlight.
The
Yeah.
go-to now is just send the SEALs. It's like, well, hey, Delta's over here.
Yeah.
We got Green Berets over here.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
they're not as cool, so. It's,
I don't know. There's always the Coast Guard.
yeah. Hey, the Coast Guard's got they got some high-speed individuals in there.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I hope that is the focus because, dude, I always thought that would be the sickest job is if we were able to target the cartels.
You're home by dinner.
Yeah. Like we literally, well, in San Diego,
Yeah.
yeah, you
it's like, go across the
do
border.
a hit, come back.
Yep. I'm
You're-
like, that would
Sleep in
be
your own
the
bed.
perfect life. Like,
It'd be
yeah.
great training for SEALs coming up. You know, live fire.
Yeah.
If you were
So-
if you were offered to be a part of some groups and going over there, would you do some of that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
You'd take a CB, right?
Yeah. I'd go, that's
Run
Take that gun.
BRR M4.
on the job.
I would put an EG in the serial number. There we go.
I thought, yeah, when they announced that the other day, I was like, ooh, dude. I would. I'd
You
go
think
back.
a lot of guys that got out the last 4 years are thinking about going back in?
They're gonna have to.
That's a good question.
I don't know,
mean,
man. Like
I don't know.
I would think like maybe some of the younger guys that got
Yeah,
out.
sure,
yeah,
sure.
I'd say like some of the older
Some
guys
of
are
the,
probably
some
like,
of the 10 to 15 year guys, they're probably going to be done. But like the less than 10 year guys,
Not necessarily though, because what's happened right now, what I'm hearing is that they have screwed up things so badly that guys that shouldn't be leaving or shouldn't be retiring are leaving. So
Yeah.
like over at Halo, they're looking for instructors at Halo.
Oh, that's
I mean,
military
it's-
wide. Yeah,
But
they've
here-
lost all that experience.
Here's the thing, though. We've got 60-something days until Trump comes into office. You have to think about America's adversaries. If they're going to do something,
They have to do it now.
they have to do it now because, like, somebody like Putin is like, I want Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. You know, and I know the media will say he doesn't have the Defense Department. There's no way he could do that. Well, if the Defense Department or any current intel says there's no way he could do that, you can bet your ass Putin he was KGB. So, of course, the guy's playing a chess game. The West is playing checkers with him. I could see something like that where he moves in the next 60 days because then Trump comes in and he knows Trump will negotiate.
Yeah.
And he says, he
more
pushes all the way
pieces.
to Poland and he gets what he wants back. Same way with the Chinese or the Iranians. I would expect some shenanigans in the next 60 days because it's not in Biden's interest. Biden doesn't care. The Biden administration doesn't care. What they're going to go and take the Chinese and they're out of there in 60 days. They'd rather leave a mess. This is how much they hate Trump. They would look at something like that as like, well, let's let this war start and then this will sink Trump and the Republicans once and for all. That's how sick they are.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I just don't. I don't think Putin's going to do that. I don't think. That's just my opinion. I think Ukraine he looks at that like I'm just trying to get my shit back.
Yeah.
Like that's mine, and it's supposed to been mine. So he took advantage when we voted Biden in. He's like, now's my time. I'm going to take it. But I think he'd be playing a super dangerous game if he started like, now I'm going to start taking more. And I think he knows
that's
that.
his overall game, though.
Think so?
I think, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, when the EU brought them in and the Soviet Union collapsed, that took away Russia's natural barrier with the West. The EU is now on his doorstep. He always had that insulation. Mm-hmm. And so I think he has no choice but to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and again, I'm like, those are
Let's
just my.
make a bet.
You want to bet?
Friendly bet.
All right.
I'll bet you one of these.
How much?
What am I going to give you if I lose?
We'll figure something out.
All right, so the bet is.
You got to buy 2 from us.
Okay.
We'll give you one, or you buy 2 from us.
Ooh. All right. What's the bet?
My bet
Is that Putin goes and tries to
I think
take?
he's going to do something in the next 60 days.
Okay.
That he's going to do something out of. Okay, let's set the
Wait,
parameters.
do something.
Okay, I think he's going to
Gonna
move.
invade another
I think
country?
he's going to move on Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. I think
Like-
he'll push as far as Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll be in coordination with the Chinese doing something toward Taiwan. And the Iranians have been backed in a corner right now. So whatever they're going to do, they got to do before Trump gets in there because Trump kills their generals. And this time around, if the Iranians do something while he's in office, you can bet an Ayatollah's dying
Yeah,
because Trump just doesn't like them.
for good reason.
So I think Putin will move on Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia in the next 60 days.
All 3? Is that the bet? Or one of them?
We'll go all 3. Because,
All right.
Okay.
Because either way I win.
I'll do the bet. I'll do the bet. with you.
Either way, you win.
Either way I win because Eddie's going to have one of these in his hands.
I think you just got a new CBE, right?
So either way, this is like the stealth kind of thing. Oh, well, Eddie, I lost a bet to Eddie and he's shooting a CBE.
No, I'll go shoot this regardless. Yeah, I want to shoot one.
So,
All right.
but I think
on.
I think he will.
Okay.
Because they got to. They have to. Because if we know that if Trump is successful, if he gets a big portion done in the next 2 years of his agenda, then that's going to set the tone for the second 2 years, which will set Vance up.
Yeah.
And Vance can do 8 years. And our
I didn't think
adversaries
about that.
don't really have that kind of time with what they want. You got to remember, they have their own ambitions, their own battle plans, their own. you
Yeah.
know. So if they're going to do something, they've got a 60-day
Well, now's the time.
window.
Like,
Now's
yeah,
the
I
time.
agree with that because we
They got
have
a 60-day window.
we have no leadership in office. So
So now's the perfect time to do it. So that's why I think they're going to do it. But
I didn't even think about Vance, setting Vance up for the next.
yeah, that's why he's in the seat.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
Be
Vance
incredible.
is, look, people think Trump is the second coming of Reagan. I think it's Vance. J.D. Vance.
yeah, I like him a lot,
You
man.
know, I mean,
How
somebody was.
old is he? He looks young.
He's 45.
That's
He's
what
my
I thought.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's young.
God, I'm the oldest one at this table. I'm 52. I'm looking
I
at like
can't claim.
Medicare
I
soon.
can't claim being the oldest.
What are you, what, 32?
32.
Nice. 30s are awesome.
That's what my dad said.
They
Dirty
are.
30s?
When I turned 30, he was like, "These are about to be the best years
Yep.
of your life." I was like, "Okay."
Hey, I forgot
You
to
get
tell
to
you.
the filthy
I
40s.
think the
Yeah.
40s.
You know, a guy
Awesome.
just got
40s are
arrested
good,
for
yeah.
cutting man buns off.
Really?
Did you see that? I saw it on Instagram.
Don't do that.
This
My,
guy,
my wife would come after you.
this guy is going around cutting man buns off. I've been trying to get him to get rid of that thing.
I don't like it. My wife
You do-
likes
you do
my long
you.
hair. Yeah,
Hey, you
I
got-
had hair down to here when we got married, so I think she's always liked me with long hair. Better.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all good. Happy wife, happy life, man. You
That's
gotta,
it.
yeah.
That's
She,
it.
she's from what, Uruguay?
Paraguay.
Paraguay.
Headed down there Sunday.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's got the life, man.
Like 2 weeks. Her family's got a compound down there, like the brick walls, the
Mm-hmm.
electric fence on it. It's awesome.
Dude,
I keep
that's-
telling her we're gonna retire down there.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
He might have been if Camelot won or Kamala or whatever the hell her name is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't
Always
pronounce
got
her
somewhere
name.
to go.
Of course, I'll probably get called racist for not being able to pronounce her name. You know, I mean,
Who cares?
Jesus.
It doesn't
Being
matter.
called racist by them is
I can't
almost a
pronounce
sign
shit
of
at a
pride
Thai
at this point. I'm
restaurant,
like,
you
yeah,
know?
you're right. Okay, cool. I'm racist. Yeah.
I can't pronounce
What other
anything at a
names?
Thai restaurant, so. you
That's
know.
that's one good thing about marrying a South American. I can't be called racist now.
Well, now they're calling the Latinos racist.
Oh, are they?
That's why
Oh.
Kamala lost.
It doesn't.
Dang.
African American.
You married a racist.
Yeah.
If you did not vote for the Democrats, you're racist. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could be like.
That's why it's all BS,
transgender,
dude. I don't.
You know, it doesn't matter. You could
Yeah.
be transgender, whatever, all these things, and if you didn't vote for a Democrat, you're straight
yeah,
up.
if you're not on
racist.
their side, you're whatever name they want to call you. It's
Aren't they about tolerance? And they're the ones who talk about tolerance.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about
It's flipped.
tolerance.
Well, dude, I'm excited for your company. I'm excited for you getting this into the hands of true gunfighter people that
Well, he's about to win one.
win.
so-
If someone's listening to this and they say, "Hey, I want one," how do they get one?
Then go to cbwalton.com, or if you go to Instagram, it's at 556 Customs.
Okay,
And you
sweet.
can contact us either way through that. I mean, like I said, we have a very simple website. It just lists what, you know.
Yeah.
I think we have an email on the website, so just email us. We'll talk you through it.
nice.
I mean, we're really kind of slow to roll stuff out. And I know that our other partner, Chandler, that you guys know, he's all about like marketing and all this stuff. And we're just
Well,
kinda like,
that's part of the gig. You gotta get it
you
out
gotta
there.
have it.
But I can tell you, I mean, I haven't shot it yet, but I can tell you just from looking at it, it looks like a sturdy rifle. Like it's legit.
I just shot a competition this past Saturday out at Element.
Yeah.
And the farthest target, there was a stage with an 803-yard target, and I hit it all 4 times.
What barrel length?
Cleaned the stage, 16-inch.
the one
Okay.
that you auctioned
and
off.
I'm an
Yeah.
oddball.
Is that the
I run a 3 to 18, so that I can shoot, regular. I do tactical game.
Yeah, yeah.
So I shoot that with that, and I have an offset red dot for close stuff. But I can also do like DMR matches with the same gun.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
it's versatile.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we did. I mean, I walk around most of the time thinking I'd fuck up a wet dream, but somehow we built a really good gun. I don't know how we did
You
it.
got a good team.
God is good to us. So, well, I appreciate y'all having us on.
No, I appreciate you all. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be seeing you in a couple of weeks to hand over.
We'll see. We'll see what Putin does. I'll be keeping an eye on Putin for the next 2 weeks. I'm
Yeah, you'll be at the shop in 60 days, and it's like, I'll be handing one over. I'm
gonna have to message the old Don, be like, "Hey, man, keep Putin out of one of these 3."
Yeah.
Hey, it's win.
Just one of them.
Look, it's win-win. I mean, it's win-win for us either way. I mean, we're tight with Jim, and you're
Oh,
tight
yeah.
with Jim. So it's like all in the
It's on the
all in
on the
circle.
family here. Yeah,
that tight circle.
which is what makes us so blessed.
It's good to see you guys. I had a good time last time, even though I went home. I was freaked out, like, man, what did I say?
Oh, you didn't say nothing crazy last time. It was
And I
good.
enjoyed. I really appreciate y'all having me back and allowing me to bring the engine.
Yeah,
for
man.
having me as
Anytime,
well.
brother.
Yeah,
Anytime.
So,
All right. Out.
Out.